If I could offer you two words that describe what our discussions are all about, those two words are relationship and life. I believe that we have been created with the need for relationships. A lot of people look at our basic needs as being food, water, and shelter, but I believe that on an emotional level, our greatest needs are affirmation, significance, and security. And you can't look at those three things without considering relationships. We have a need for a relationship with each other, and even more importantly, we have a need of a relationship with our Creator.
You can see in every stage of life people attempting to connect in relationships. I go back to my college days. Why did I pledge a fraternity? Not so that I could give $50 a month to a group that I didn't really understand. It was so I could connect with friends, so that I would be with friends in social settings. Why do people, in their teenage and young adult years, and even sometimes later, club hop or go to bars or do the singles scene or online chat rooms? It's because we are all wired for relationships.
The most important thing that God has for you and for me is a relationship. There have been people who have confused lesser things for that relationship. Some people think that Christianity or your religious life or your spiritual journey is about being moral or about following a set of rules, about going to church, or maybe even some people believe that God exists to make their lives miserable, to keep them from doing what they really want to do. But that's not the case at all.
I run across a lot of people who think that religion is about church. It's about the things you cannot do, the things you shouldn't do. It's about following a lot of rules. It's about a lightning bolt coming down and striking you when you make a mistake. A lot of people are beaten down. And it's not about that. It's about a relationship with Jesus Christ, someone who loves you tenderly, that died for you, someone that gave their life for you, that just wants to spend time with you, that wants to affirm you and comfort you and be there for you every day, all day long, helping you make decisions and just guiding you in your life.
I was raised in a very fundamentalist home. It's all about what I did, what I didn't do, how long my hair was, what kind of clothes I wore. That's all about religion. Religion is all about what I can do or what I'm not doing or what I should not do.
I don't think that Haley married me because of the things that I did. I don't think it's because I could take out the trash or because I could open a jar that she couldn't open, or because I could fix a car for her or anything like that. I think that Haley married me because I offered her a relationship and because I offered her love.
I think it's the same with the Lord. I don't think that he has chosen us or loves us because of we feed the homeless and we our random acts of kindness. I think that he loves us and he wants us to have a relationship with him, and I think that the good things that we do are just a response of that relationship.
God wants a relationship so that he can give you a full and meaningful life. The second word that sums all of this up is life. I learned something as I traveled not too long ago. I went to a country that is extremely moral. As a matter of fact, it's a place that is safe. You can go out even in the middle of the night, whether you're male or female, and you can be safe in this particular society. If you left your wallet in an establishment, it would be sitting there when you came back, or the owner would have gotten it and held it for you behind the counter. As I traveled to this foreign country, I began to think, people must be moral because they're Christians. But in this particular society, I found out that only 1, 2, maybe even 3% of the population are Christians. And I began to have a dilemma within myself of how could somebody be moral and not have a relationship with Jesus Christ. The one thing I did is that as I looked into the eyes of the people of this country, I saw that there was something missing. There were many people who seemed to be depressed. They seemed to be impersonal. They seemed to be hurting and empty and dead on the inside. They didn't look any differently than people in my own country and in my own communities as I look at them. They seem to be going through the motions, but they seem to lose something or lack something at the very core of their being. And I began to realize that regardless of where you were in the world and regardless of how somebody behaved on the outside, we had some of the same problems deep within our hearts. It was at that point that something struck me. It was the fact that I had reduced Christianity to a set of moral acts. Christianity goes much deeper than that. Christianity is not about a set of rules and about a set of do's and don'ts. As a matter of fact, if you go to a cemetery, you find that the inhabitants of that cemetery are very well behaved. They're very moral. They don't cause any problems. They don't commit crime. They don't sin. But the problem is that they lack something that's much deeper. They lack life.
Life is about real life. And real life can only be experienced in one person, and that's Jesus Christ.
You can go to your job day in and day out, and you're making money and you're paying the bills, but what you're doing there may be absolutely meaningless, and you may still feel absolutely empty when you come home at the end of the day.
I know people from many walks of life who are very, very moral. You may do the right thing. You may live an honorable life. You may have a good set of moral ethics and a code that you live by. But the issue that each of us needs to be aware of is that we need life. We need something better than just the way that we live, but we need something that changes us at the very core of our being. We need a relationship with Jesus. He said, "I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly." I have never met a person who has found the relationship and life that Jesus offers that regrets it. They may have regrets in so many different areas, but when it comes to that, their spiritual journey, they believe that that is the highlight of their life. And we hope that as we share it with you, it can be a highlight in your life as well.